In this video, Jordan Peterson talks about the importance of hypothalamus.
The hypothalamus is a major league system. And when push comes to shove, it's the thing that's in control. And one of the ways of thinking about the way that you organize your life is that the hypothalamus controls the major motivational systems. We just talked about those. And so those are the things that people would think about as drives. Although they're not drives, they're too complicated to be drives. And then there's other systems that come up later that we'll also talk about that govern emotion, like anxiety and a different system that governs pain. Partly what you're trying to do as you organize your life is to make sure those systems stay shut off. And then you think, well, I'm in control. It's like, well, no, you're not. You just satisfied all the things that could take control from you, and so now you have a modicum of choice. And basically what you're doing when all these things have had what they need is you're running around exploring. And that's also another one of these circuits, because the hypothalamus, as I already said, governs exploration. So a lot of... See, psychologists often get things backwards, and they ask silly questions like, why are people anxious? That's a stupid question. It's why are people ever calm? That's a question, because why are you anxious? Well, think of all the terrible things that can happen to you. And they will happen to you, even worse. And there isn't anything you can do about it. It's like, why aren't you quaking in your boots, just sitting there? Well, that's a mystery. And then, here you are in your normal state. It's like, well, no, this is not a normal state. People have been trying for 7 million years, as people, to create a situation so complex and comfortable that a couple hundred of you can sit here, without having your hypothalamus driving you towards something, and actually just listen to something for a few hours. That's not normal. That's so staggeringly abnormal that it's a miracle. The typical person, and for most of human history, it's like, you are hungry, man. And that's not the same. Like you people, well, some of you have probably been hungry in your life, but, what's the longest end? Is there someone here who's gone without food for more than one day? Okay, has anybody here gone without food for more than a week? Okay. How about 3 days? Okay, so are you hungry? No. You're hungry when you haven't had anything to eat for 20 days. Then you're hungry, so... And the same goes for thirst and cold and all the things that we're just never exposed to. So, we think civilized people are all calm and nice and easy to get along with. It's like, yeah, well, you have absolutely everything you need all the time. So, and that makes you as easy to get along with as any completely insane primate ever gets. So, okay, so you might say, well, God, if you can survive with just the hypothalamus, what good is the rest of the brain? And the answer is, well, if you're thirsty, let's say you're angry, the hunger system isn't going to be able to take care of that, right? So you're hungry, okay, that works. You're angry, that works. But then you have another problem, which is you're hungry now and you're angry now, perhaps. You can move through those states. You watch that, you'll see that in 2-year-olds. It's partly why they're so fun to be around. It's like, first of all, they're really excited and they're running around playing, and then, they trip, and then they're crying like mad, and then you poke them and they laugh, and then they want something to eat, and then they fall asleep, and, they're just running, they're run by their hypothalamus, and it's really fun to see because they're so alive and so enthusiastic and spontaneous, but they're completely clueless. It's like you take one of those creatures to the mall and leave it there, and it's like it's just not happy at all. And the reason for that is, well, it doesn't know how to sequence any of its actions, right? It runs through these states of need, but it isn't complicated enough to figure out how to address those needs in any consistent sense across multiple environments in a social world. You need the rest of your brain for that. And that again fits in with the Piagetian idea, is that what you're doing is you're taking these micro-personalities that are basically instantiated within the hypothalamus, and then you're organizing those into more and more complex games. And you need the cortex to do that, because the cortex is partly what enables you to think about time. Because the hypothalamus, it's a here and now thing. Like the hypothalamic cat lives in the present. There's the present, and that's it. You know, you probably get some sense of that. Like one of the things that happens to people if they take amphetamines or if they take psychedelic drugs is that some of the inhibitory control, some of the more complex control systems that are cortical shut down. And so then they enter a state where it's all now. And, you know, the now just comes at people in that state. It's a transcendent experience, but of course, you know, despite that, you're not functional. And so in some sense, you trade that transcendent relationship with reality for a narrow functionality. And that's too bad, and that's life, but, you know, it's a trade-off. So anyways, you're organizing these subpersonalities, and you're using your cortex to do that because, you know, you don't just have to think about eating, you have to think about, how am I going to get the food? When is the food going to come? How am I going to cook the food? What about all the other people that want to eat? How do we regulate that in our family? And then how do we regulate that with the fact that we also need to sleep and we need to work and we need to get along with other people and we need to have something interesting to do? And like, it's ridiculously complicated. And it really there's no end to the complication because, you know, maybe you're just solving the problem for you, and then you're two. Or maybe you're trying to work it out within your family. Well, then that's sort of like the Crumb brothers. They never get out of their family because they just never come to an arrangement that works well enough so that they can, you know, in some sense move into the broader world. Then you solve the family problem, but then you got the tribe problem, and, you know, maybe you can solve that to some degree, but then you have the broader political problem. It's like, you know, there's an infinite number of problems that crop up for you to solve, so there's plenty for you to do with your big cortex. You know, and we paid a big price for that thing because once we discovered time, you know, we could make a bargain with the future, which is basically what you do when you regulate your behavior. Right? You're making a bargain with the future. You say to yourself, if I forego so-and-so now, then later, it'll pay off. And that's real useful. You can conceptualize the future, and you can conceptualize the future as something you can bargain with. But there's a lot of cost to that. One is you don't get to do just what you want right now. And of course, that sucks. It's partly why people drink alcohol. You know, because alcohol is disinhibiting. It stops you from thinking of, it actually doesn't stop you from thinking about the future, by the way. It stops you from caring about what you think about the future. And that's just as good. And so then you can go out and have fun, because fun is, you know, impulsive and often extremely dangerous, because the long-term consequences, you know, can be really devastating. But it's a real pain to keep yourself controlled all the time, you know, because you're foregoing direct reward constantly. You know, I think it's part of the reason why people in heavily industrialized, complex countries aren't necessarily happy. It's like, you know, it takes a lot of grinding away to keep all the machinery that keeps all of this in place going. You know, so you're not getting typhoid and, you know, tigers aren't tearing you apart, but by the same token, you have to be unbelievably disciplined and ready to act constantly to keep everything that's so complex around you working. And that's not necessarily fun.